A pill and a prayer. The high cost of hope. We've all been there, standing in line, hoping that this time the cost won't be too high. Standing at the pharmacy counter, prescription in hand, heart sinking as the cashier announces the price. It's a moment of dread, a moment where you wonder if you can afford to be healthy. It's a scenario familiar to millions, a moment where hope for healing collides with the harsh reality of healthcare costs. The receipt in your hand feels heavier than it should, burdened with the weight of financial strain. Why are prescription drugs so expensive in the United States? It's a question that haunts many, especially those who need medication to survive. The answer is a complex cocktail of factors, a bitter pill to swallow for patients struggling to afford the medications they need. From research and development costs to marketing and administrative expenses, the list goes on. Let's be clear. Nobody begrudges the cost of genuine medical breakthroughs. These innovations are the result of years of hard work and dedication. The development of life-saving drugs is a triumph of human ingenuity, a testament to the power of scientific research. It's a beacon of hope in the often dark world of illness. Yet, somewhere along the line, the pursuit of profit seems to have eclipsed the essential human right to affordable healthcare. The balance has tipped, and the scales are no longer in favor of the patient. The system, as it stands, is broken. Patients are left to navigate a maze of costs and coverage, often with no clear path to the care they need. In the following sections, we'll dissect the anatomy of this problem, peeling back the layers to expose the forces driving up the price of prescription drugs. We'll look at the intricate web of factors that contribute to this crisis. We'll explore the role of research and development, understanding how the quest for new treatments impacts costs. The impact of unregulated markets, where prices can soar without checks and balances, and the often hidden influence of marketing and administrative expenses. These hidden costs add up, making medications more expensive than they need to be. By understanding the root causes of this crisis, we can begin to envision a future where access to life-saving medications is a right, not a privilege. A future where hope doesn't come with a high price tag. The price of progress, research and development. The pharmaceutical industry is quick to point to research and development, or R&D, as the main culprit behind high drug prices. And it's true, developing new drugs is a costly endeavor. It involves not just the cost of materials and labor, but also the expense of sophisticated technology and specialized expertise. It requires years of research, countless clinical trials, and often a string of expensive failures before a single successful drug reaches the market. Each phase of development, from initial discovery to final approval, is fraught with challenges and financial risks. Pharmaceutical companies argue that high prices are necessary to recoup these investments and fuel future innovation. They emphasize that without these funds, the pipeline for new treatments would dry up, stalling medical progress. They claim that without the promise of substantial profits, the incentive to develop groundbreaking new treatments would simply vanish. This argument suggests that the high cost of drugs is a necessary evil to ensure continuous advancements in medicine. While this argument holds some water, it's not the whole story. There are other factors at play that complicate the narrative. Critics argue that pharmaceutical companies often inflate R&D costs to justify exorbitant prices. They believe that the true cost of research is often exaggerated to maintain high profit margins. They point to the industry's massive marketing budgets, which often dwarf spending on actual research, as evidence that profit motives, not just scientific progress, are at play. Marketing and administrative expenses can sometimes overshadow the funds allocated for genuine scientific inquiry. Furthermore, the government already plays a significant role in funding early-stage research through institutions like the National Institutes of Health, or NIH. This public investment is crucial in the initial stages of drug development. Taxpayer dollars often lay the groundwork for private companies to swoop in, patent the discoveries, and reap the financial rewards. This dynamic raises concerns about the fairness of the system. This raises questions about whether the current system adequately balances public investment with private profit. The debate continues as stakeholders from all sides weigh in on how to create a more equitable and effective model for drug development. A free market for healing? The lack of US drug price regulation. One word sets the US apart from most other developed nations when it comes to drug pricing regulation, or rather, the lack thereof. In many countries, governments negotiate directly with pharmaceutical companies to set drug prices, ensuring affordability for their citizens. The US, however, takes a decidedly more hands-off approach. The result? A free market for medication, where pharmaceutical companies are free to set prices as they see fit. While proponents of this system argue that it fosters innovation and competition, critics counter that it allows pharmaceutical companies to prioritize profits over patients. This lack of regulation creates a perverse incentive structure. Pharmaceutical companies are rewarded for charging the highest possible prices, with little regard for affordability or patient access. It's a system where the sickest and most vulnerable are often the most exploited, forced to choose between their health and their financial well-being. Section 4. Marketing miracles. The influence of advertising and promotion. Ever wondered why every commercial break seems to feature a new drug promising to cure what ails you? It's not just a coincidence. The answer lies in the pharmaceutical industry's aggressive marketing tactics, which are meticulously planned and executed. In the US, pharmaceutical companies spend more on marketing and advertising than any other industry, bombarding consumers with messages designed to influence prescribing habits and consumer choices. From glossy magazine ads to celebrity endorsements, these marketing strategies are everywhere. These campaigns often promote brand-name drugs over cheaper generics, creating a perception of superiority, even when the difference in efficacy is negligible or non-existent. The message is clear. Newer is better, regardless of the cost, and this can lead to higher healthcare expenses. This relentless marketing blitz doesn't just target consumers, it also extends to healthcare professionals. Physicians are not immune to these tactics. Pharmaceutical representatives, armed with free samples and persuasive pitches, regularly visit doctors' offices, promoting their company's latest offerings and innovations. These visits are frequent and often include incentives for the doctors. While these interactions can provide valuable information about new treatments and drugs, they can also create a subtle bias, influencing prescribing practices in ways that may not always be in the best interest of the patient, potentially leading to overprescription or preference for more expensive drugs. It's a complex web of influence that shapes the decisions made in healthcare, often without the patient even realizing it. Section 5. The hidden costs. Administration and bureaucracy. The price of a prescription drug isn't just determined by the cost of research, development, and marketing. A significant chunk of the price tag also goes towards administrative expenses, the hidden costs of navigating a complex and often inefficient healthcare system. Think of it as the bureaucratic overhead of healthcare. This includes everything from insurance billing and processing to pharmacy benefit manager fees and the costs associated with negotiating drug prices and managing formularies. These administrative costs add a significant markup to the price of drugs, further burdening patients and contributing to the overall unsustainability of the healthcare system. The complexity of the US healthcare system, with its myriad of payers, providers, and intermediaries, creates ample opportunities for administrative waste. Streamlining these processes and reducing bureaucratic inefficiencies could potentially lead to significant savings, making medications more affordable for those who need them.